You have to start with something ritual. Are you good to go?
I'm good to go.
Oh, yeah. This is what you get, right?
This is it.
This is it, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm so excited that we're doing this finally. Yeah. There's so many things that I wanted to say and, share and, talk to, but the other person has to be in the receiving mode and able to connect with what I'm saying. And thank you for your patience and willingness to listen to this experiences that I have, gone through. Unique experience that I had. Everybody's unique, but it's totally from the East, and you are from the West, right?
Yes,
Even though
yeah.
there is no boundary, but
Yeah.
the settings are different.
The hardwire is different.
The hardwire is different.
Yeah.
When you say hardwire,
The way we're wired.
oh, okay,
or the way we're taught in our families,
Right.
in our communities, and what's okay, what's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of programmed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hardware and the software too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the software? If the hardware,
You're talking about the synaptic nerves and all this, the all of that is the hardware, the brain,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all of that. I know that is also the case, but more so when I said software, it's just the thoughts that, the images, the memory, that experience, the exposure we had. I always say, let's see how today is gonna go. Let's see how my mind is gonna work, function.
Yeah.
Let's see how my thoughts gonna connect with the thought patterns that I have in my memory, and those thought patterns will give meanings and interpretations and purpose, and that's why the thought pattern has led us to do this one, because of the thought patterns are also shaped by the past experience, and you and I have this past cause that, hey, we wanted to do something, and that led us to come to this library, and we're doing this.
yeah.
And we think we're very liberal, and we made we have a lot of liberty, and we're making our decision. But it's actually very much there's a cause and effect that we have sown the seed. Now, due to that past thought, led to this one. But this experience that we are having is going to be a new imprint, which will lead to another experience. And so that's why seeds are planted, and that's why we were told to be careful with our intent. Intention is important, they say, because it leaves an imprint deep in our psyche, and that imprint, you cannot escape it. You have to someday. It'll have its own. It'll take its own course, and it'll come out. Have you started the podcast? Not yet.
This is it. We're doing it.
Oh, really doing it? Okay.
Yeah. I think that was a beautiful introduction to
Oh, really? Thank you.
whatever we're calling this thing.
We don't. We couldn't come up with the name of the podcast yet, huh?
Our intention is there,
Intent is there. Yeah.
but I don't think it's been revealed yet.
Yeah. It's very well said. We have this intent. We are a little bit. We're struggling a little bit with the careful choosing of the name, because what we're gonna talk is gonna be really open-mindedly. We talk about life. We talk about mind. We talk about culture. We talk about and such. So, and then the West and the East meeting here, Tibetan and American, Tibetan USA here.
Yes.
So we want to be careful. I don't want to pick a name that is totally Eastern, and you will say, whoa, what about me?
Yo, hold your horses.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses, bro.
Yeah. So Mark, you grew up in Minnesota?
I did.
Wow.
Yes. I was born and raised in Robbinsdale, Minnesota,
Wow.
which is maybe 20 minutes from here,
Wow.
in a sleepy little suburb.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So, so I was born in India, even though I'm Tibetan by origin.
Yes.
Country Tibet. Born in refugee camps in India, and Very interesting story. Looking back, it was blessings in disguise. But I wanted to talk about your experience because when I was growing up in India, and I always thought America is great, man, the land of opportunities. So if I see an American in India at that time, I will be like, I'll consider you as a very blessed soul, very fortunate being, lucky one. So tell us a little bit about your growing up upbringing.
Right out of the gate, huh?
Oh, we can talk as we go, or you don't have to.
Yeah.
I can give you my spiel, but if you, I just was curious to see because
I don't think there was. I didn't feel like there was anything special about my upbringing. I felt like I was one of many, many people. A family of 6 of us, 4 kids, 2 parents. Grew up in a house around a lot of other houses. Went to school, and as an individual, I think I always felt unique, and given certain viewpoints or perspectives that set me apart from other people. I think in a sense that I felt like I didn't really fit in, but I also fit into the bigger fabric of just call it American culture or Minnesotan culture. So I kind of had this duality of feeling very much one of the people who I grew up around, but at the same time also feeling like I had my own thing to do, and looking for that and trying to find out what that meant as a kid and as a young adult, and even as an older adult now, kind of having my own path, my own way of doing things. But I didn't feel like I didn't identify with, you said blessed. An American would be a blessed, what did you say? Blessed.
see, grass is always greener on the other side. They say people look
Yeah.
at it things from, oh, theirs is better. So that's also part of my biased or conditioning.
Yeah.
Because when I'm going through a hardship in life, it's growing up in a refugee camp. It's a matter of struggle every day, right?
Yeah.
And to get a next lunch is gonna be like what I'm gonna get for lunch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I always thought the West is rich. So that's why it's a very blanket, very stereotypical thinking, and I take that back now. Connecting with you, meeting with you, and Minnesotans, Americans here, and they have their own stories to share. So when you said you still have, as an adult, or you said you have, you're still exploring your deeper inner core essence. That's interesting to see. So when you said you didn't fit in, you felt somewhere, but you wanted to explore. You wanted to find yourself. You wanted to do the things in your own way. It's a very broad statement in a way, but it's very deep in a way. So I'm curious to know if you could elaborate a little bit further into that.
I think what I'm trying to say is there's a clock that my world, Minnesota, where I was born, Minnesota, United States of America. There's a clock or a timeline that people are. Well, I should also say I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people in America that grow up not in Christian homes. There's people that grow up in non-religious homes, Jewish homes. There's really a range of, that like blanket sort of ideology that people are raised in. I grew up in a Christian home, and I think there's a clock or a timeline in America in the 70s when I was born that people were supposed to kind of follow. Maybe it looks like school, and then college, and then career, and then relationship, and marriage, and kids, and then that's kind of the template. Maybe it's the American dream. But whatever this clock is that I felt was marking my time, it never fit to me. I couldn't keep it. I couldn't keep in time with what was expected out of me. And I think a lot of it comes down to feeling creativity in me, and especially as the outlet of music, to be my truth or the thing I wanted to focus on. And that clock, that internal clock of mine, telling me to make music or to express this feeling or that feeling, or that clock in me that didn't agree with what I was taught as a Christian or as an American. These hardwire things weren't taking for me. So my path has always been my own path to a degree. I mean, you know, I'm just like everybody else in a lot of ways. We all are. But I think we all have our own paths at the same time. And mine always went divergent from, I feel like, what I was told to do by culture or even family expectations or religious expectations.
Maybe you need a little bit of that, not resistance, but that kind of pushback, or that kind of struggle a little bit, so that it'll strengthen your wings, or you will definitely know your inner calling, or whatever you wanted to express your own deeper thing, right? Whatever your passion, it is coming from within, from you, right? Even though you're sorry.
No, I think that's key. I think you said it, where something that in me that I want to express is more important or more real than any of these other things that I'm supposed to embrace. Right? So it's very like pig-headed. It's very stubborn. And it's very like oppositional. Like I oppose, I think I've always opposed systems that have been then put on me or applied to me. I just don't want to have them on me.
Rigidity is something that doesn't fit.
Don't like it.
So not that we're radical or such, but once confines you in some boxes, or lets you to think only in that parameter, and then you feel like, okay, this is not working.
Yeah.
You need a free flow of your you don't want to be in a constricted thinking kind of.
I think that's kind of human too, and we all have different ways of maybe expressing that. What do you think? Do you think it's a human feeling to not want to be confined by a culture?
It's a human thing, true, but humans, I don't think there's one such standard as human thing. I don't know what you meant by that, but I wanted to bring this. I want to say this from my cultural conditioning again here, or my past upbringing taught me that. Are we good with the sound?
We are. I keep looking because I just want to make sure we're still good.
Okay.
So I make little tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
We're good.
So we think this life that you're born with, in your family with your parents, right? Genetic makeup of you is 23% from your mom, 23% from your dad, and that's what it's expressing now. Even though you have not seen your grandfather, but your grandfather's or grandfather's nose is sitting on your right. So it's a genetic thing. It's the hair color is from that. So also nature and nurture thing that also there's this acclimatization, what do you call it, adaptation. We change, people, survival of the fittest, whatever. But deeper than that, in my culture, this mindset that you have, the psyche, the things thoughts that you have, that thing is not just from this life, they say. I'm sorry, I'm dragging in deep into that one.
No,
it's
let's
from
go.
the past. There's this, I know genetic memory is what we have, but there is different memories, which I'm not going to go into the depths of that, but there's some memories, evolutionary memories of the past too, right? So there's so many memories. So if I have to talk about all these memories, Western contemporary psychology will tomorrow kind of say, what the heck are you talking about, right? So there will be some memories or imprints from your previous life. We believe in past life. So I personally think that this continuity of life, this life after death, it's not the end of this life, right? There will be continuity of life. There will be life, and before life and after life. So that's a whole another different topic. But in the past life, if you allow me to say this, you may have some strong imprints. So you have some personality. You may have some passion, which you did it so good, so powerfully, so successfully, so passionately, that this life, even though parents are Christian and taught you to be a good boy, this is that, but you felt like, okay, now this is restricting you in a certain way, so you want to express this, your thing. Otherwise, if we totally follow the genetic memory of the parents, you will be exactly as your parents, right? But you have your individuality, your uniqueness, even though. So I think that's the part that whatever you did it in the.
Are you psychoanalyzing me right now?
Oh
Phuntsok.
no, that sounds like that, right? So interesting. I don't know why I went too deep into that. Maybe why I wanted.
That's why we're here.
Why I wanted.
We're here to throw the stone in the well and see how far it goes down.
So when I get up in the morning,
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. When I get up in the morning, do meditation, right? And then I analyze myself, my thoughts, and this thing called fear creeps in every now and then, and it says, "What the fuck? Why does this? I'm so comfortable here in my meditation room." In comfortable cushion, it's quiet, pin drop silent, and then 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just relaxed. But this thought, the fear comes.
Fear.
I wanted to analyze the nature of the fear, and where is this coming from? This is all about the past conditioning, right? The past experience. So thoughts connect,
Yeah.
connects, and then fear is coming from there. So I have to go back to the roots of where this fear came from. It was sometimes it goes back to my school, 3rd grade, where this seed of fear is planted. And
By a person?
the incident happened at the school at the time when I was in 3rd grade. That imprint was so strong that now I'm at the age of 50, 53, 54. I stopped counting once I
Once you hit
passed
60.
50. So that fear was there. So I realized that, that's where it is. So I released that. So coming back to the continuity of life and all of that. So you're expressing your individuality, you're bringing out your passion, could also be not just from this life. This is a long shot.
No,
So
it's great.
I tap out.
Let's talk about you.
Oh,
Okay, so tell me why you were born.
why you were born? My parents.
Well, hold on. This is not that kind of podcast.
Oh,
No.
why you were born?
That's a different podcast.
Why you were born, or
How-
not how you were born. Okay.
So tell me how it is that you came to be born in a refugee camp. I have so many questions.
Oh.
For one, you're Tibetan. You say you're Tibetan. But you weren't born in Tibet.
Right.
right? And I know I'm holding my fingers up like a eighth of an inch apart. I know this much
Yeah.
about the history of Tibet
Oh.
and China
Oh.
and the Dalai Lama
Wow.
and all the things that make up the fabric of who you are,
Wow.
right? So that's another reason why we're together.
Beautifully said. Yeah.
Well, my ignorance is astounding. It will astound you.
So where do I start?
That's where you laugh. Okay, yeah. So tell me where you're from.
Oh,
How are you? And how are you here? Why are we sitting across the table? That's so bizarre.
it's interesting. You asked this question, and just this morning I keep saying Matt and Mark.
I know.
So
You're never going to get it right.
so even though we met, we felt connected to each other. We talked several times. We met several times. We had a coffee together. We didn't really go deep into to see who our history of who we are. So, but thank you for asking. Tibetan by origin. My parents are Tibetan,
Mm-hmm.
so they are Tibetan refugees in India, and that's why I was born in India.
So your parents were refugees
They
from
fled.
Tibet.
Yeah.
Why did they flee? For the people that don't know history.
Oh, so Tibetans, in Chinese communist regime, China, occupied Tibet in 1959, and a lot of resistance and a lot of fights, a lot of how should I say, killings. A lot of Tibetans died. So my parents left Tibet, escaped Tibet, and went to India. And government of India give a refuge to the Tibetans. And somewhere in southern part of India, some very remote corner, Tibetans settled there, and they have a Tibetan settlement, refugee settlement. I remember we have those. The story goes. The memory is not that vivid because I was too young to say that. But they have been doing. They did a road construction workers. There will be tents pitched alongside the roads, and they will be constructing roads because they can't speak English or Hindi or the local language. So all they could do is do that work, labor work. And in return, they will get the ration, rice, kerosene, or something to eat, right?
Yeah.
That's the daily labor.
And your parents were part of that group.
That group.
Yeah.
And that's when I was born, right?
Did they leave in 1959 then?
They fled in 1959.
Okay.
And and then I was born in refugee camps. That's a whole interesting story.
Yeah.
And
And we'll get to all these details too. I want to hear all the pebbles and stones and grains of sand in this. I'm trying to get the full picture now.
Right.
So you were born there. Your parents fled because the Chinese communist regime took over Tibet, their homeland, your homeland. And then how long were you there before you went somewhere else?
From the refugee camps.
Mm-hmm.
So I went. There was the refugee school there. I went to the Tibetan refugee school. So I went to the school, and then there's this thing called what they call it, scholarships, and those who could score, certain percentage. The school is registered under the government of India. So if you score such and such, first class or whatever class, 60 above or 70 above, you will be given a scholarship to pursue further studies. So that's how I, pushed myself to get the education. I did finish my high school, college. I did bachelor's in science. I was interested in science, and did psychology, master's in psychology. But
There it is.
but psychology is me, but I didn't really follow the what do you call it, Western contemporary psychology or science thing, but I went to Tibet to explore. Went to Tibet to complete my whatever dissertation or thesis or whatever. Interesting story. My teacher, my professor said, "Hey, you want to study? You want to go into this Buddhist psychology thing? It's kind of." He said, "No, I have not read much about Buddhist psychology and this mind thing, but you want to write a paper on that, and who's gonna review it?" I says, "You know what? The interesting part is, I'm gonna prepare such a way that you will read it and you will learn and then you will approve it."
Okay.
So we both will be exploring. So I went to Tibet, and anyway, so that's a whole different story. So am I losing the big picture here?
No, you're great. You're great.
Okay.
Love
So that's the education part was because of the.
So you did really well. You did really
scholarships.
well in your studies.
Yeah, given the circumstances, conditions that I've gone through, I was very. There's always somebody. I felt there's somebody always protecting me or always looking after me, watching me from above. There, hey, I get you. I'll take care of you.
That's great.
So it was
great.
Yeah. Anyway.
And then you leave to come to somewhere, Canada, America. Where did you set off to from the refugee camp?
Oh, then I went from India when I finished my schooling, college. I went to look for jobs. So I went to
So
Nepal.
refugee camp to where did you study in India? Was it Delhi or?
Oh, so there's. I was born in southern part of India. The place is called Mongkut, the biggest Tibetan refugee settlement.
Got it.
I'm fortunate to be born in that place. And interesting part is that I will be with the Tibetan community in the Tibetan family when I go outside in the market, when I have to, do the things, go in the city. I will be mingling with the Indians. Of course, it's in an Indian city, right?
Yeah.
So I have to learn to speak the local language. Not only that, I have to speak the national language, which I studied in the school too.
Yeah.
So, and then in the Indian community or the places that I go to, India is very diverse, right? Hindus, Christians, and Buddhists, and Jainism, and all such. And I come back home and adopt the Buddhist thing. It's diversity is way from the get-go, from the beginning when I was born, right? So it was interesting. So from there, Mongkut, I went to another city, another town in India, northern India, which is a very beautiful touristic town called Mussoorie, where I finished my high school. And from there, I came back to the southern India again, a place called Dharwad, where I did my bachelor's in science.
So when you were studying, where were your parents?
Oh, that's interesting thing. So
Just out of curiosity.
actually, my parents are professionally they're doing agricultural farming. So I helped them out growing up as a kid. I know how to do a farming. I know how to plow a field with ox and plow carts and all of that. So harvest the
Old school.
Yeah, old school. Yeah, that was the old school way. And so I'm so fortunate that I have that experience. And the rice that we eat, I know how to grow that rice and maize, corn, whatever you want to call it. So lived very close to nature at the time. So animals and so that kind of even though it was a very challenging upbringing at the time, but now looking back, that was a blessings in disguise. People in the U.S. wanted to go out of the town to be in the cabin or whatever you want to call it in the countryside where they wanted to have farming and all of that. That was a natural thing for me. We have chickens, poultry farm, I should say, and cows and animal, all of that. So we don't have to go buy milk. The cows gives milk, and eggs we don't have to because we have chickens. And then food and the rice and everything we have it because we do the farming and vegetable too. We have a vegetable thing. So
Let's go.
I don't know.
Let's go there. Sounds good.
Okay. I'll take you there.
Can we take a change in direction, Phuntsok?
Yeah.
Can you
wanna
tell
hit
me
that?
about?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is singing ball. These days,
A singing bowl.
singing bowl.
Singing
Yeah.
bowl.
Help me out with my pronunciation and accent. How do you say it? Ball,
Bowl.
ball,
Bowl. Bowl.
ball.
Bowl.
Okay, okay. I gotta go
You
back.
got it.
I gotta go back to kindergarten to study
Bowl.
the phonetics.
No.
Back in the days when I was in India, my teacher, English teacher, is. I love him. I love my teachers. I have a great respect for them, but they have a strong Indian accent, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the Q, they will say kyo or something.
Yeah.
For M, they will say yum, yan, and then.
So were they teaching you Indian?
So that's
or
why the
English?
singing ball, whatever
Ball,
that. I
yeah.
still need to learn.
Well, here in Minnesota,
Yeah.
you betcha,
You betcha.
we got our own way of screwing language up. So you're not alone.
So it's interesting to explore different accent
It
and
is.
pronunciation. Before coming to United States, it's been 14 years or so that I've been here.
Okay.
So when I know that I'm going to go to Minnesota, I want to learn, hey, how's this Minnesota like? So I was trying to YouTube and all of that, watching movies like Fargo
No, don't do it.
and all of that. So, and I only thing that I know about accent is Forrest Gump's movie where
Yeah.
Tom Hanks has a southern accent. That was challenging, tough to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, everybody has their own,
I've got a friend in Sweden. Shout out Torgny, and I think for a while when we started talking and being friends, he thought everyone in America had a southern accent, kind of like from there, like Texas or Louisiana, and he didn't get how huge the United States is and how many, accents or just call them dialects. They're not really dialects because it's all based in English, but just the way that the words come out is so different. Even in Minnesota, I think the people who are up north by Canada are going to sound a little bit different than the people who are down south in Winona.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty
I like
wild.
to keep my accent in that way. So singing ball.
Singing bowl.
Singing ball is nowadays this has become a hot topic, hot thing that it's very commercialized, right?
Okay.
My understanding about the origin of this singing ball, right, is because, correct me if audiences know more than that, or I'm totally wrong. I apologize. But
Call in and correct Phuntsok, everybody.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I personally take this singing ball because of the sound of it. I need this singing ball. This when I hit like this, right? I use this for my meditation practice, just to set my rhythm, set my vibration. So when I hear this like that, so I write like riding a horse, my mind on that sound, and there is my thoughts. My mind is just on that, focused on that sound. It takes me. It will be with the sound or riding on the sound of it until the sound diminishes or subsides. So in that way, my mind is not like going everywhere, flickering.
It's a focal point.
Focal point. It's just a tool to get me to that domain or that dimension where my mind will be, without any, not my mind, but there will be, the thoughts will no more be there.
Yep.
So, but the original, sorry to insert this, but the singing ball, I think Buddhism came with Buddha used to carry the ball, begging bowl they call it, and he, I believe at that time wasn't cooking because the microwave and all these ovens are not there. What they call it these days, we have that thing. So anyway, so he goes around for alms. To beg, and then whosoever offers him, he will eat that one lunch a day, one food at lunch or whatever, dinner, whatever the day.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's why the ball concept of ball
Sure.
came. I don't know when they started hitting, listening to the sound.
When it was
but
empty.
People, yeah, when it was empty.
He's like
yeah.
trying to, hey, fill it up, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on. Have some compassion here. I'm
Oh,
trying
I
to
don't
teach you
think I don't
compassion.
think he was hitting a singing ball and go around back for arms.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just that people wanted to make a business out of it. Now they say, look, this,
Yeah.
ding, like that. So if
So you said something really interesting to me a minute ago, and to take one step back from the very beginning of us talking about this podcast, meditation has been a topic that we knew we wanted to go into. And so whether we do a whole series on it or it's just a topic that keeps recurring so I can understand it and you can share your experience has yet to be determined. But I know it's going to be something that we're going to keep talking about. But you said something that was super interesting, that it was something like you ring it and you ride the sound almost like you're riding a horse, right? Is that an idea that is built into Tibetan thought and Tibetan culture, or is this something that you've imagined and that an image that you use, that you came up with to hear it? And tell me about that horse idea and the sound as a focal point for you to scatter your thoughts away to focus on one thing.
great question. I like
Because it's a powerful image.
inquisitive.
So
I like
powerful.
your inquisitiveness in trying to uncover what's behind that and all of that. That's what I like about Mark. Are you Mark or Matt?
Matt.
Matt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mike.
What's in the name,
It's
right?
Mark. So Phuntsok calls me all different things depending on the day. And I don't know if he's just fucking with me or if you don't know my name. I don't care. Well, I do care. But I'm going to
you're
brush
gonna go
it
to
aside.
French. So France, coming back to the topic here.
Yeah.
The
The horse.
wisdom tradition that I came from, that I'm exposed to, is that Buddhism has influenced me majorly. So we have this. I've learned this from Buddhist masters, that our mind is such that we need mind to do the things in life, right? We need mind. Human mind is the greatest thing, right? The most advanced mind amongst all the animal kingdom. But at the same time, the conditioning of mind, is such that it couldn't see the reality of it. What's the bigger picture of it? Sometimes we get distracted, like I'm right now here. So they have different tools and techniques to employ the mind to be centered. And while having these thoughts running, they have come up with a technique to see what your mind is doing. So they call it mindfulness practice, but mindfulness is the English word, right? So lack of the better word. So when I said writing my mind on the thought, it's basically what I meant was I'm single-pointedly focused on the sound. It's one of those techniques that I have learned either by myself or from somewhere. But there's different techniques in my culture, my Buddhist culture, such as chanting a mantra. They will be single-pointedly chanting a mantra repeatedly, right? And then that's why the mind going in 1,000 directions will stop. The flickering mind will be like, because mind is so powerful, we're so wrapped up in my mind that we don't see. We become the servant of our own mind. In that practice that I was talking about, singing ball, or the chanting a mantra or meditation, is where we make the mind the servant and myself, the master. So don't be the master of your mind, but not the servant of your mind. It's a people will question what is mind and who's that, you or me or us inside there, which is what you're referring to, and we will, all kinds of questions will come. But it's something that it's not easy to articulate in words, but experientially felt. But for that, meditation is the one that helps me to reflect and to tap into that dimension, if that makes sense. I know I went all over, but trying to get you the glimpse of what I'm trying to say.
I see some of it,
Yeah, okay.
not all of it,
Okay.
if I'm to be honest with you.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll try some other time.
Maybe if the image was you riding on a goat, I would get that more.
So the writing on the sound of it,
Mm-hmm.
right now, as we are doing this podcast,
We're riding on a turtle
we're
that's headed towards the swamp.
we're totally using our thoughts,
Mhm.
with our information, knowledge, and we're using that language. Or language is another thing, right? That
Mhm.
I have to be able to speak in English so that Mark will understand. You won't understand if I started speaking in Tibetan, right?
I should learn
which will
Tibetan
be
so I
sound.
can understand you.
So this mind that all I have is my mind,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's going to be too sharp, too intelligent, like a knife.
Mhm.
It's like we want to analyze, right? We want to what do you call it? Dissect this, cut this, check, see what's going on, and there's nothing left. It's too sharp.
Oh.
But I needed to come up with not just dissecting it, but I also
A simplification.
need to use different tools to
Mhm.
see there is more than the mind. There is this space where there's cognition, there's deeper dimensions of mind, and that's where we're going to talk.
I love the sound.
Which will take another podcast to
It will.
go into. But I'm not the expert on
It'll
that.
take a season.
I'll
A whole season.
Thank you for your patience to listen to this, but this is my experience and my 2 cents into that. I may be totally wrong.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can I hit the bowl and make it sing?
Sure.
For the person at home,
Mhm.
which is everybody except Phuntsok and myself,
Mhm.
there's a little wooden dowel,
Mhm.
maybe 4 inches long
Mhm.
and about 1 inch in diameter.
Mhm.
And it's made of wood, and it has a little black felt strip around the top half of it.
Right.
That is meant as a dampener, so you don't hit the bowl with the loud wood. It's a little bit dampened. So this is the what do we call this? What is this?
I don't know what it is called.
It's the thing you hit the singing bowl with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've merchandised the singing bowls, but they haven't quite figured out how to
Gong. I don't know what you want to call
the
it.
gong.
I don't know.
The gong show. So I'm going to go over and hit this little bowl, which is a small brass bowl, maybe about 4 inches in diameter and 3 inches high.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. It's on a little wooden stand.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make that stand?
I
Phuntsok?
just trying to be creative. Found somewhere.
Yeah, that works,
in
yeah.
Thrift store.
And I'm going to hit the bowl on the side, and we're going to listen to it.
It took me home. Hit home. It hit home. They say. What was the phrase? So
What do you mean?
it took me back. I was focused on the sound of it
Mhm.
because of my practice. It took me deep in that center, and I just for the fraction of seconds I was not thinking about you in the other end. I just
Yeah.
went home.
You closed your eyes.
Yeah,
You looked happy.
yeah,
It was a happy place.
yeah. I believe there's. I'm sorry, you were saying something.
Go ahead.
There's this thing called more than the 5 senses that I'm gauging and filtering and perceiving and all of that. That when I close my eyes and be in that and
Mhm.
try to feel through my, not just from the 5 senses but from my whole being here,
Mhm.
I see more than you. I don't mean to claim to see that I could
see
see
my
your
light?
past life or future life or whatever,
Mhm.
but I see like a hologram type, like
Does
You-
my
I-
does my hologram look like
interesting
bread?
when I started explaining about you, you
I
put
do this from my
put
back.
arms.
This is not a defense.
I thought it was another different pose you
Well,
want to give me to show
deeply
me.
psychological. Maybe it's a defense, but it's also for my back because I'm trying to keep my back straight when I sit.
Perfect answer.
Does my hologram look like Brad Pitt?
The aura, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
yours is more unique than I never met Brad Pitt, but is he Brad?
Brad. Yeah.
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 Spoiled.
Spoiled Brad.
Oh, okay.
Spoiled Brad Pitt.
So the energy of your body can be.
We have an
I don't know
aura.
whether I don't know whether how much you know about energy, and maybe it's just my mind, my placebo, but I feel that we have energy, power centers in the body, so it aligns it better. Like we go to the gym, right? Like I have to start my day with the sauna or take a good shower, and that's how my kickstart my energies. But I don't know how about you, but to align myself, body, my energy, I needed to do certain things, and I know what works for me. This piece of
Flesh.
life that I have,
Yeah,
flesh.
yeah.
I know what it works, so I've been doing that. So you will see me often in a sauna doing my thing. Is just trying to fix my rhythm or my energy, because during the course of the day I'm scattered and my energy is drained, and all of that. I'm not complaining the world. It's just that I have to put on different hats to do different things.
Yes, we
so
all do.
in the midst of all of that, I lost my own true self, my own being. So I want to protect that.
And that is a huge truth and true topic
Yeah.
that we could go into too.
Yeah.
How the living of this life in our physical bodies and needing to make money to buy food and have a place to live so we can be content. How that destroys or has the possibility to destroy or dampen the light that we have as divine creatures. I think we all are divine creatures. And most creation stories across time and across the globe, human beings are a product of some kind of divine creation, whether it's the Greeks and the Greek gods, whether it's Christianity and the story of God creating Adam. We're divine. Part of us is untouchable, unspoilable. But it's like that balance of how do you keep a job? How do you have a car? How do you have kids and satisfy the ambitions that we have as people that want to be not successful, but like have an impact on the world, right? And reach people. How do we do that without losing that light? I feel like that's what you were saying. You're looking at me like that's not what I was saying.
You're covering a lot of things, so
I mean, that's a whole
appreciate
thing.
I appreciate it.
That's a whole thing. Do you think we're boring people right now?
No. It was
Okay.
good. It was good. You may have to
Edit that last piece out?
No. It's you when you talk like that in a very broad spectrum. It's interesting, and to delve in those things,
Yeah,
to
there's a lot there.
really understand and connect with what you're saying, because I'm. I don't know how I started with this, but I was trying to say that you have that aura, and Brad Pitt's aura, whatever you said, because I first met you in the Lifetime gym, fitness club that we go to, and I felt that you have that presence, that vibration, which is a good one. And then I just thought it hit it off, because you touched a little bit about Christianity, a little bit, if you remember, something like that. And then whatever you say, you're trying to say it from your within, from the deepest core. You're trying, you're right. So you're saying it, and you were working at at a hospital, or where was that? Where were you working at?
A
Home
senior living center.
Senior center where
Yep.
you're taking care of your parent. I was asking, how are you? How's your
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
You
And
said
how
I
my
was trying
parents.
to take care. I was you with the dad.
Mhm.
And how's your family? And you talked about it. And I just said that you are very blessed and fortunate that you are working at a
Yes.
place where your dad is there and to take care of. And every day you go to work, and you don't have people have to go to work, and then they take care of their parents, right?
Yeah, yeah.
After the work. But your work is that, hey, you got to take care of your parents. You're very special, I said. And then and you just said, some days it has its moments or days or something. So
Mhm.
we just casually talking, but
Mhm.
all in all, that's when I've met you, and that's when I've. So all I'm trying to say is you're more than Brad Pitt. With due respect to who's Brad,
Hey,
spoiled
no,
Brad,
no
or
shade
Brad
on
Pitt, or
Brad
whatever
Pitt.
that is. I don't
Brad,
know
we
who
love you,
is-
man.
Yeah,
We love you.
yeah.
No shade,
I
bro.
thank him
at
for
all.
7 years in Tibet movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
I
Yeah.
thank him for that. I watched the movie. It was a great movie.
Yeah,
A great respect for Brad Pitt.
there you go.
He's a Brad. I'm a rat, so it's okay.
You're a Phuntsok, and I'm a Mark.
Small potato. I'm a small potato.
Yes,
He's
that's
Brad Pitt.
that's what we say here in Minnesota. If something's not a big deal, oh, it's small potatoes. Small potatoes.
Oh, okay.
Do you have that saying in Tibetan
No,
culture?
I have picked up in Minnesota.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
trying to pick up Minnesotan accent here.
Yeah. Keep working at it. You'll get it.
But you know what?
Oh,
There's-
sure.
it's
Yeah,
a-
you betcha.
Minnesota is becoming very multicultural these days.
Ooh, no
so,
doubt.
So
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
man,
wonderful.
you got to teach me more of a Minnesotan accent, because other cultures are coming, and I have to learn a lot from other cultures too. Alhamdulillah.
There you go.
So anyway,
That's great.
it's this journey has been great so far. This life, even though it could have been gone other way around, but thanks to my parents, and thanks to the Tibetan culture, thanks to United States, thanks to everybody who I met in my life, and thanks to you, that we are spending this beautiful Saturday here and talking about life, talking about mind, talking about all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
So we could have been doing something else, but we chose to come here and talk and share about life. And then when we grow old, and one day when we leave this planet, but hey, there's this journey. There's this episode that we had a chance to talk about.
Yeah.
Even though we're two different. You are from the West. No, even though I'm in Minnesota now, but totally different upbringing, and I'm pretty much different upbringing, right? So
Oh, yeah.
all said and done, you were saying that we're all human. It's a human thing. Sometimes when people say we are human being, I felt like we're limiting ourselves from our true potential. So
Oh, man.
that's another way of looking at it. But maybe
That's a whole
she's saying
thing.
it's totally
We gotta
different
get into that
context,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I concur. I agree. Thank you for trusting that when we sit down together, we can be ourselves. Thank you for trusting my different experience when compared to your different experience. And I'm excited just to learn stuff and to also, when we first met each other at the health club, you are one of the funniest people I know. And when people are talking smack in the sauna, you just throw it right back to them, which I absolutely adore. And I don't think they know if you're serious or not, because you say it with kind of like a smirk on your face.
Pain in the butt for a lot of people in this sauna.
But it's so funny, and people just don't know how to take it, and I just love that. So yeah, we're on a great journey.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here with me. And
Yeah. Even though we are sitting here, I know you have a very all-embracing kind of mindset where, like, hey, let's go.
Let's
but
go.
there is part in Mark that I see that it's not judgment. I'm not trying to be judgmental.
you're
here.
psychoanalyzing me again.
It's just there's this thing that you want to have things in a very structured. You want to have. When we talked about podcasting, you're grilling me. I mean, you're not grilling me, but it
Ooh,
was
there
like,
it is.
What are you going to talk about? What's going to be the name? This is like
Yeah. True.
Deep,
Guilty.
deep down in myself, I was saying, I just want to talk.
Yeah.
What is there to talk? And yesterday, I met a friend of mine. I don't want to say the name, but he's a very good guy. He said, "What's the plan for the weekend?" I just said, "I have a friend of mine who we plan to have a podcast." Like, whoa! He said, "What is that?" It's a podcast. I'm new to this, but what do you do actually? So we will be talking. Oh, okay. We're just talking. Yeah. And then it dawned on me like, yeah, that's what I was. I
Yeah.
thought that's what it is, but
The whole
Mark
time.
is making it harder than it
Oh,
seems. Like
bro.
we're gonna be talking. What
I
would be the
know.
topic? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this
No.
has podcasts. I don't know anything about podcasts. I mean, if everybody's listening
I don't know
to
anything
this,
about 'em, no.
This is totally off the chart, maybe off the wall, whatever you
No,
want to
no,
call
no.
it. But sorry to my.
I
thing.
love your honesty, Phuntsok, you dirty dog. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you. It's
Thanks-
true.
thanks
I
for
do
that.
over prepare, and sometimes I under prepare, as the people I played music with will attest to. Chris and Glenn, and Kushal and Christian, and these other people that I make music with, that I under prepare on purpose.
This is to just to piggyback on what I said
Yeah.
was that though we are here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, good friends here now, right? So we are here talking, but the thought patterns, the structure, how we think through is different. See, you want to have your upbringing, your conditioning, your experiences that hey, Phuntsok is a little bit cuckoo, a little bit, you know. So we want to put a structure on
That's true.
on what we're gonna plan. But someone else, which is just you just name few of them, your friends, you don't have to prepare because they have control over, or just on the go. It's gonna be easy go. But anyway,
I don't think it has to do with you, Phuntsok. I don't. You are
I just wanna-
loopy
I
and
just
off.
wanna
So you're
give you-
doing that thing again,
I just
like in
wanna
the
see
sauna
what
where
you
you
have
give
to
people
say.
crap. Yeah.
But anyway, in going forward, when we talk, I have nothing but to speak from what I feel. I just this is what I am. So
Yeah.
in the course of saying things that I just say,
Yeah.
it's not intended to harm or disrespect you or any other. It's just coming as a sense of humor, like you said in the sauna, you know. So anyway, that's why we do. We are here to share experience. So
Yes.
in the process, unknowingly, we're hurting or disrespecting. If somebody feels that way, we apologize. We want to plant a flag there, say this is not the intention. It just
True.
apologize ahead of time.
Well said, sir.
Trying to be politically correct.
Well, why not? That's okay. Should we say goodbye? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do this. We've never done this before. I've never done this before.
I think eventually it's a good day today, Mark.
It's wonderful.
I read more than me meeting you and opening the door and coming in here. I read the whole thing. You know, I just try to read the weather, the rain, the wind, the energy. I'm not trying to get you into the woo-woo stuff now here, but it's a good auspicious
Go.
day, and
This is how our conversations work.
okay.
Is you're going to talk and I'm going to talk about our very unique experiences in your refugee camp, in high school, in your first week of being in America, in what led you to have the job you have now, in all these things. I'm
Now,
going to
you
talk
forgot
about...
to add. You keep bringing the refugee camp all the time. I'm
Yeah.
a millionaire now.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do with that money?
So you should talk more about millionaire lifestyle that I'm living now.
Let's go,
I'm
buddy.
just kidding.
You didn't tell me that. You made me buy my own coffee this morning.
Oh, sorry.
Bro. Cheers.
Cheers. I used to. This is tea.
This is coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make Indian tea.
I make American coffee. It's probably Ethiopian coffee. You know, all coffee strains, the strain of the furthest back bean that they can track comes from Ethiopia. You probably knew that because you're into coffee a little bit too, right?
I label it as Himalayan coffee, so
Yeah.
we'll keep that in another podcast. So we can stop if that's okay, because I see your energy is already tapped out. for the day?
Well, I could keep going. I really could. I push a lot. I could push, but I feel like I think we had a good stopping point.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
really happy.
Thank you again, Mark, for taking the time to meet with me here at this library and booking the library and bringing all these gadgets here, making my this podcast to you easy, because if you are not here with this thing, I don't know how this will turn out to be. It won't turn out to be nice as I feel it's nice as it could be, because you made it easy to me, and the library booking and all of that. See, this is good.
It's great.
I actually, before we walked in and all of it, I created my space here. I did my thing. So whatever the energy is here, it's your and my vibration, my energy. So we created, I summon them, these invisible vibrations and energies, to, hey, this is our show here. We're running this today. We booked this. This is our place. So every energy, every frequency is calm and blending in with your energy and my energy.
I love it.
This is a tall order, huh? Okay, you want to call it?
I do. Here we go.
This may sound like a stock market.
Yeah, the stock market is now open.
I like your T-shirt color and the thing.
Uh,
Yeah.
baby blue.
Yeah. Well, have
All right.
have a wonderful rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the Saturday. Splendid
A little rainy,
afternoon.
but it smells nice.
Yeah. The weather is today saying, is beating the drums and beating this singing ball is so small. I will add more sound to it.
Yeah.
Sprinkle some water as a blessings to you and me. So
Yeah.
the cool breeze, I interpret it that way. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you.
I thought it was a blessing. I thought the rain was a blessing. Even 2 days ago when we met and said, "Hey, let's start recording on Saturday." Today's Saturday. 2 days ago we met, and as we were saying goodbye at the coffee shop, it was still sunny, but there was a little bit of like a mist happening, like it was kind of sprinkling on us, right?
Yeah.
And I call that a sun shower. It's called a sun shower. And
So the universe is conspiring
I think
to
it's a
help us.
blessing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
is. It
so
is.
that's very positive thinking. That's good. That's all we have is how we shape our mind thoughts, how we interpret the thing. So if we think it's positive way, what they call, there's a song called. Can I sing the song? It's a Nepali song.
Oh yeah.
It says, "Phulko aankhama phule sansara, kadako aankhama kade sansara." Sorry for the accent. I just extemporarily. How to
No.
say that? The singing this one. It says, in the eyes of a flower, you see a flower. In the eyes of a thorn, you will see all thorn, right?
A thorn.
A thorn, yeah.
Yeah.
So like the roses have thorn. So there's two ways of looking at it. So we looked at it from the eyes of the flower, so everything looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's how we interpret. That's how. Yeah.
Can you sing it again, and I can try to sing with you?
That one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna hum it.
Phulko aankhama phule sansara, kadako aankhama kade sansara. Kind of thing.
Lovely.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to thank you. In this podcast, can we sing? I don't know. Podcast can have.
We
a
can do
song.
whatever we want. dude.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Man, then I should prepare a better song next time.
Oh, that was beautiful. Why
Alright.
why disparage your song?
So Nepalese language, Nepalese song. I listen to Nepalese song. and Indian songs and dance, and I know the language and
Yeah, yeah.
movies and all of that. I listen to English too,
Yeah.
and I have a Tibetan too. So when I go to the YouTube, I have a choice like which movie I'm gonna watch today, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's I was telling you in blessings in disguise when I was growing up in India, because I was exposed to all these different multicultural thing.
Yeah.
Now I can pick up this different language. Now I have to learn Spanish and French and these two. Pick up that one. So language always fascinates me.
Do not apologize to me, please.
Okay.
Because Lord knows I'm not going to apologize to you, Phuntsok.
Okay.
I am Mark.
Phuntsok,
Thank you for listening.
thank you all for listening.